Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world. It's your national news broadcast on Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. My name is Siobhan Pereira.
And I'm Sutmi Jayaratnam. Let's take a look at today's headlines.
Warning to the fishermen and Navy personnel not to venture into sea from Puttalam to Pothuwil in the next 24 hours. A fisherman who went on fishing from Beruwala reported to be missing. The Prime Minister says under the new educational reforms, the number of students in a classroom to be restricted to 30. SJB MP Jagat Vithana's son arrested for illegal possession of a jeep. Island-wide surveying of reservoirs of the irrigation department begins. Cases filed against 3 restaurants in Dehiwala for uncleanliness and red notices to 2 other shops. Hybrid corn seed production in Bakamuna has been successful. Pakistan extends closure of its air zone to India by a further month.
Let's take a look at those stories and more in detail. The Meteorology Department strongly advised naval and fishing communities not to venture into the sea areas from Puttalam to Pothuwil via Colombo, Galle and Hambantota for the next 24 hours.
Meanwhile, a fisherman from Beruwala who went to the sea for fishing was reported missing. A person in the Muskele area was also reported to have been killed due to the breaking of a tree branch as a result of strong winds. The missing fisherman is from Beruwala and has been identified as SM Silva, who left for the seas from the Beruwala Fisheries Harbour. The police says the victim was reported to have fallen into the sea from the boat after returning with a catch of fish. The victim of the fallen tree branch in Muskele was reported to be a 44-year-old resident of the Brownsegg plantation, Rasamanikam Selvakumar, a father of 3 children. The meteorology report says several rounds of rain may occur in certain locations in the island today as well. Accordingly, intermittent rainfall is possible in the western Sabaragamu and central provinces and also in the Galle Matra districts. Fairly strong showers exceeding 75 millimeters are expected in the Sabaragamu province and also in the districts of Nuwara, Kandy, Galle and Matra. The department also predicts strong winds from time to time may occur in the western slopes of the Central Highlands and also in the western Sabaragamu, southern and northwestern and north central provinces at the speed of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. It further says sea areas beyond the coast from Puttalam to Vakare, Vamana, Kankasanture and Trincomalee may turn rough from time to time. There is a danger of the sea waves rising up to 2.5 to 3 meters. Public life and vehicle transport have been obstructed due to the incessant rains lashing on catchment areas in the western slopes of the Central Highlands since last night. A heavy fog could also be witnessed intermittently on the Hatton-Nuwara and Hatton-Colombo main roads and its by-roads. Volume of water in the Devon waterfall has also increased. Heavy rains are also reported from the catchment areas of the Norton Bridge and Vimala Surendra reservoirs. Our correspondent says Vimala Surendra reservoir has started overflowing since this morning. The Nuwara Disaster Management Unit says as a result, the water level in the Kalani River has also gone up significantly. Water levels in the Castlereagh and Mount Sakale reservoirs are also reported to be nearing spill level due to the heavy rains in the western slopes of the Central Highlands. Engineers in charge of the Canyon, Laksapana and New Laksapana, Polpitia and Vimala Surendra hydropower station says electricity generation is being carried out in maximum capacity due to the increasing water levels in the reservoirs. Fishermen in the northwestern coastal belt have refrained from engaging in fishing today as well. Fisheries boats were stranded at fisheries ports from Nigambo to Kalpitia. Fishermen have taken measures to relocate their fishing crafts to safer places due to the encroaching of the sea waves into the inland.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarsurya says that the implementation of new educational reforms will pave the way towards enhancement of professional status of teachers. She adds that steps will be taken to restrict the number of students in a classroom between 25 and 30. The Prime Minister points out that there is no possibility to hand over quality education when there are between 50 to 60 students in a single classroom. The Prime Minister had made these remarks participating in a program conducted today to enlighten educational authorities on the new educational reforms at the Dakshina Auditorium in Galle. This was the fourth program to educate provincial authorities on new educational reforms. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya said that they are doing everything for the sake of the development of the country and to turn Sri Lanka into a rich nation in all aspects. The Prime Minister added that they are hoping to create citizens from the 21st century and beyond. It is impossible to impart knowledge and experience to a school where there are only 12 to 15 students. In such instances, they are doing is to imprison the child in the same place once again, making the school with less than 50 students. The ground situation in certain schools has been studied in order to provide the best educational experiences to the students in such schools. She added that in order to implement the proposal on educational reforms brought by them, the number of students in a classroom should be between 25 and 30.
The Valana Anti-Corruption Unit has taken into custody the son of a parliamentarian and chief organizer of the SJB in Mathugama, Jagat Vitana. The suspect was arrested in connection with keeping an SUV illegally in his possession. He is currently in the Mathugama police custody and scheduled to be produced before the Mathugama Magistrates Court tomorrow.
A bus carrying 20 Sri Lankan youth working in Israel caught fire yesterday morning near Kirt Malaki. The bus was completely destroyed in the blaze. Sri Lankan ambassador in Sri Lanka in Israel, Nimal Bandara, says nobody was seriously injured in the incident. All 20 Sri Lankan on board managed to escape by breaking the windows after the door became blocked due to the fire. One individual sustained a leg injury and has been hospitalized. His condition is not serious. The relevant authorities are currently investigating the incident while the rest of the group continues with their daily activities as usual. The ambassador confirms that the youth has not sustained serious injuries, dispelling rumors regarding his condition published in numerous resources. The envoy further stated that, however, they are constantly remain vigilant on the Sri Lankan victims and added that most of them are currently engaged as usual in their daily routine.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Vijay Herath has declared the drug menace as a national emergency, emphasizing the urgency of tackling it with a process of global collaboration. Now, the minister was speaking at the 74th anniversary of the Colombo Plan commemorated in Colombo with the presence of diplomats, development partners and representatives of member countries. Addressing the Colombo Plan Anniversary Summit, the minister outlined a multi-pronged drug eradicating strategy led by President Kumara Dissanayake.
In Sri Lanka, President Kumara Dissanayake has made it clear that the drug menace is not merely a law enforcement issue but a national emergency. The government is undertaking wide-ranging institutional reforms, enhancing coordination among the police, military and intelligence services, introducing new legislation, leveraging modern technology to disrupt drug syndicates and taking decisive action to eliminate corruption within the prison system. Equally, we are investing in early intervention awareness campaigns and community-based rehabilitation, particularly targeting our youth. Importantly, the President has also called for moral leadership at the community level, engaged in temples, schools and civil society in this collective effort.
And human capital
US.
through targeted training for Sri Lanka Ports Authority staff, including engineers, port operators, administrative officials, designed to enhance operational efficiency, align port operations with international standards, and prepare the sector for future demands, particularly in cybersecurity and digitalization. So by supporting all of these professional development throughout these sectors to keep Sri Lanka's ports running smoothly, We're not only contributing to the island's economic resilience, but also reinforcing the broader global supply chain.
The U.S. Embassy in Sri Lanka supports Sri Lanka to enhance its capacity to combat synthetic drugs and new psychoactive substances. State-of-art equipment used in the testing process of new drugs were handed over to Sri Lanka authorities following a 2-week training initiative in Colombo. U.S. Embassy with the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board concluded a 2-week regional training initiative focused on identifying and analyzing synthetic drugs and new psychoactive substances, particularly fentanyl and its analogy substances that have become an urgent global concern. The training culminated in a formal handover ceremony of the drug testing equipment. During the handover ceremony of the drug testing equipment, U.S. Deputy Chief Minister of Jane Howell stated that the United States is confronting the fentanyl crisis at home and abroad because the threat knows no borders. Therefore, the U.S. government is investigating in regional partnership like the one conducted in Sri Lanka to stop synthetic drugs before they take hold. Through this initiative, U.S. is not only sharing advanced tools and training but also reinforcing a shared commitment to public health and regional security, the Deputy Chief of a Mission said. Deputy Minister of Public Security and Parliamentary Affairs Sunil Watagala and Chairman of the National Dangerous Drug Control Dr. Indika Vanninayaka presided over the presentation over the Radian ASAP instrument to Sri Lanka.
Surveying of reservoirs island-wide belonging to the Department of Irrigation has commenced today under the leadership of Deputy Minister of Irrigation Susil Ranasinghe. The Ministry of Irrigation says unauthorized constructions in large scale are present on the bungs of the reservoirs of the Irrigation Department. It further states that these illegal buildings have been built according to political requirements. The general public as well as business establishments are witnessed at these unauthorized settlements. Director General of Irrigation Ajit Gunasekara was also present at the surveying of the Nuwara Wewa in Anuradhapura. Six Samruddhi houses were handed over to the beneficiaries at the Kahawatha Divisional Secretariat Division. These houses had been constructed in the areas of Kiranodagama, Miyanavatta, Nugavela and Panapitiya in the Kahawatha DST. A sum of more than 3 million rupees have been spent. The Nugagoda Mananduwa Road in the Kalutara district is being reconstructed at a cost of 1.3 million rupees. The general public in the area has been subjected to immense difficulties due to the dilapidated state of the road for a long period. Parliamentarian Nandana Padmakumara has presided over the reconstruction of the road program today.
An invitation has been extended to Sri Lankan companies to invest in the solar power sector in Bangladesh. The Ministry of Power Energy says a proposal pertaining to this effect was discussed at a meeting with a group of representatives of Bangladesh. At a meeting between the Ministry of Power Energy Kumara Jayakodi and advisors to the electricity and power sector in Bangladesh, Muhammad Faisal Kabir Khan, the proposal was presented. At the talks, it has also been evaluated on the progress of the rooftop solar panel project. Advisor Khan has also pointed out on this occasion that due to the bilateral friendship, opportunities existed for the local investors to receive business opportunities from Bangladesh companies. Meanwhile, Asian Disaster Preparatory Center and the local Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock Resources, Lands and Irrigation have entered into an agreement on technological services contract today. The pact was related to modernization, amalgamation of networks and prevention of adversary services. A program to enlighten the general public on the disposal of the garbage in Maharagama town has commenced today. The event was organized by the Maharagama Urban Council under the theme of Rich and Beautiful Maharagama town under the Renaissance. Deputy Minister of Public Security Sunil Watagala stated that the people present were ordinary citizens of the area and the government was intervening in the development of the city on behalf. The Wax Museum at the historic Ahalepula Valawa in Kandy was opened for media personnel yesterday.
President Rukh has presided over the opening of the museum recently, which was reconstructed through renovation of the old remand prison in Kandy. The reconstruction was carried out by the Urban Development Authority. The museum has been designed to showcase Sri Lanka's grandeur and pride, and it will also be a major attraction for both local and international tourists visiting Kandy. It's also expected to become a center where the current generation can accurately study the Kandyan kingdom and its associated history. 35 lifelike wax figures of significant historical figures have been recreated in the museum. The museum is comprised of traditional industries and an ancient themed restaurant. Designer of the museum, Atul Herat, said that the creation of a shopping complex, a restaurant and other features came into being through this project. It will become a meaningful experience to tourists and a method to earn more dollars to the country. Therefore, the entire process is a significant victory. The design of the museum also said that new additions would enable the general public to look at the nation and the country with a sense of pride and to recall how Sri Lanka faced the conquest and foreign invaders rather than spending their time going around the Kandyan city. Atul Herat, the resident of Gampala, is the designer of the museum. The project, which falls under the Hale Polawalawa Museum project, was implemented at a cost of 300 million rupees.
Bollywood megastar Shah Rukh Khan is currently recovering from an injury sustained while filming an intense action sequence for his upcoming film King, directed by Siddharth Anand. The incident occurred at the Golden Tobacco Studio in Mumbai, Filmfare reported. Following the injury, Khan headed to the United States for treatment. Source says the injury is not serious, but doctors have advised him to take a month-long break from work to ensure a full recovery. As a result, the next schedule of King movie has been postponed to September or October. Khan will also miss the grand opening of City of Dreams, Sri Lanka. His talent agency Wizcraft announced his absence was due to unforeseen and unavoidable personal reasons beyond his control. Khan expressed regret over missing the event and thanked the Sri Lankan public and organizers for their support.
And now we go into a short break. When we come back, more local news.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A local hybrid corn seed production program has been successfully implemented in Bakamuna in Polonnaruwa. It is being conducted with full supervision of the Department of Agriculture. A prominent objective of the program is to facilitate the farmers to purchase locally manufactured maize seeds at concessionary prices. A speciality of these seeds is that they were produced at the Maha Ilupallama Agrarian Research Institute. The anticipated local seed production target for the next year is 265 metric tons. Officials of the Agriculture Department who were engaged in an observation tour in Bakamuna had inspected the hybrid corn seeds. A bountiful paddy harvest has been reported from the Mahaweli L zone in the Yala season. Paddy was cultivated in an extent of 20,000 acres of land. Farmers say the high yield is attributed to the provision of fertilizer relief by the government at the appropriate time and the receipt of adequate quantities of water for the cultivation. Now for a couple of more local news items in brief. 12 restaurants, hotels and bakeries in the Dehiwala town had been subjected to an instant search operation yesterday. Public health inspectors of the Dehiwala Mount Lavinia Municipal Council, who had conducted the raid, apprehended 3 places which sold food unsuitable for human consumption, took measures to file cases against them. Red notices had also been issued on 2 business places. Officials of the Thalamalvila Police Headquarters have arrested 3 suspects who were transporting cattle illegally in a lorry from Madagama to Beruwala. It has also been reported that at the time of the raid, there were 15 cattle in the vehicle and the animals had been subject to intense and immense harassment. In a search operation conducted in the Vallavaya Police Division yesterday, 31 suspects, including 3 women, were taken into custody in connection with several offences, including narcotic racketeering. Our correspondent says around 50 acres of land in the Kumbalvella Katugahakanda Forest Protectorate in Alla were destroyed by a fire. The fire was believed to have been set at a lower boundary of the protectorate, and a suspect had been taken into custody in this regard. Minister Vijay Herath had attended a meeting with renowned Indian actor and producer Ravi Mohan and acclaimed singer Kanisha Francis. The discussion focused on launching joint film production projects and musical concerts in Sri Lanka. These initiatives are set to boost Sri Lanka's film tourism, promote island's rich cultural heritage, and bring captivating stories and electrifying performances to iconic Sri Lankan locations. Certificates were presented to 332 President Scouts at the Holy Cross Girls' School in Gampaha today. Deputy Minister Mahinda Jayasinghe, President of the Sri Lanka Boy Scouts Association, and officials of the association have also graced the occasion. A passing out ceremony of 410 amateur naval personnel who had completed basic training has taken place at the Sri Lanka Navy Shipping Institute in Busa recently. The group included 368 trainee sailors and 42 voluntary trainee Navy personnel. A workshop on educating regional media personnel on food security organized by the Ministry of Mass Media was held in Kandy yesterday. A group including Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Mass Media KC Jayantha took part in the event. An art exhibition of veteran artist Saman Pushpasiri is currently being conducted at the Lionel Wendt Art Gallery in Colombo. The exhibition, named Kulambua, ends tomorrow.
Students from Vidyaloka College in Kandy, Vidyaloka College in Veerankethagoda and Junior School Digampatha had the opportunity to participate in the Vision program organized by the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. The program, conducted by the Presidential Secretariat, the Ministry of Education and the Parliamentary Department of the Communication, to provide students with practical exposure relevant to their education. As a part of program, students were given the opportunity to visit the Presidential Secretariat, the President's House, the Port City Colombo and the Parliament. In the line with the initiative, students were also educated on the Clean Sri Lanka program and its conceptual importance.
Foreign news on the other side. Stay tuned. In your foreign news, 3 experienced officers were killed in an explosion at a police training facility in East Los Angeles in Friday morning. The blast happened at the Biscaylos Center Academy, which houses the LA Sheriff's Department's bomb squad and arson explosives unit. Authorities say that the cause of the explosion is still under investigation. Sheriff Robert Luna described it as an isolated incident and confirmed there were no further injuries. The 3 officers who died were highly skilled veterans, each with 19 to 33 years of service. Their names have not been released yet, as officials are notifying their families. This marks the largest single loss of life in the department's history since it was founded in 1857. Federal agencies, including the FBI and ATF, are assisting with the investigations. According to local media, the explosion may have occurred while officers were handling a grenade brought in from a Santa Monica garage the previous day. The blast happened in the parking lot of the facility's Special Enforcement Bureau. The area has been evacuated and sealed off for further investigation. California Governor Gavin Newsom and other officials said they are monitoring the situation closely and offering state support.
Meanwhile, Pakistan has extended its ban on Indian aircraft and airlines using its airspace until August 24th, according to the fresh notice issued by the aviation authorities. The new notice to airmen comes just days ahead of the previous ban expiration on July 24th. India is also expected to extend its reciprocal restrictions on Pakistan aircraft beyond the same date. The aircraft closure began in April following a deadly terror attack in Pahalgam, which heightened tension between the two countries. On April 24th, Pakistan blocked Indian aircraft from overflying its territory. India followed suit on April 30th. Since then, both sides have been extending the restrictions monthly. The ban applies only to each other's aircraft, while international carries remain unaffected. Pakistan's latest notice to airmen states that Indian commercial and military aircraft will be barred from its airspace until August 24th. The restriction is impacting nearly 800 weekly flights by Indian carriers, which are now forced to take longer routes to destinations in West Asia, Europe and North America. This has increased fuel consumption, flights times and operational costs, especially for flights originating from North India airports such as Delhi, Amritsar, Jaipur and Lucknow. Air India, which flies to Europe and North America, has had introduced technical stop to ultra-long-haul routes.
At least 21 people have died and 34 others were injured after a bus overturned in the southern Iran on Saturday, according to state media. The crash occurred south of Shiraz in Fars province. Masood Abed, head of the province's emergency services, said rescue operations are ongoing. 11 ambulances and 2 ambulance buses were sent to the scene. Authorities are investigating the cause of the accident. Iran government said that more details will be released once the rescue and investigation efforts are complete. Iran records nearly 17,000 road deaths each year, with accidents often linked to poor vehicle safety, outdated infrastructure and limited emergency resources.
The Syrian presidency has declared an immediate ceasefire in the southern city of Sweda following a week of intense sectarian violence that has left at least 940 people dead, according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. Deadly clashes erupted between drugs group and Botun tributes, with report of atrocities committed by both sides. The situation escalated as Syrian internal security forces were deployed to the area, with Israel reportedly approving the move under the condition that Druze civilians be protected. Syria's interim president Ahmed al-Shah called for national unity and cooperation, stating that the government is committed to protecting all minorities and holding all perpetrators accountable.
At least 20 people were injured when a vehicle drove into a crowd at Santa Monica Boulevard in East Hollywood, Los Angeles. According to the Los Angeles Fire Department, 7 people are in critical condition, 6 sustained serious injuries and 10 others are in stable condition. One victim was also found with a gunshot wound, Los Angeles Fire Department officials said. The incident occurred around 2 a.m. Los Angeles time near a nightclub and music venue where many of the injured were reportedly women waiting to enter. Los Angeles Fire Department said 124 emergency personnel were responded to the scene.
Welcome back. We move on to sports news. The Under-19 and Under-22 Asian Championship Boxing Tournament organized by the World Boxing Association is scheduled to be conducted in Thailand.
The Sri Lanka team participating in the tournament is currently engaged in training. The tournament will be held from the 30th of this month to the 12th of August in Bangkok, Thailand. 7 competitors are included in Sri Lanka's reserve and they are engaging in training under the coach Jamita Gayan Bandara. These players, Shaturi Siriwardana, Nethmi Herat, Punsara Tittagala, JMT Deshan, Satsara Chatumina, Mohammad Azhar and Mohammad Huzaid, represent St. Sylvester's College Kandy, Hemamali Girls School Kandy.
The Central Province contestants have been successful in securing victories in both men and women's marathon events of the 49th National Sports Festival. The marathon race of the event had got underway from near the Hikkadwa grounds this morning. Sportsmen and women representing all 9 provinces of the island are taking part in the tournament. The distance of the marathon event is 45 kilometers. W.M. Herat, representing the Central Province, has won the women's marathon event in the 2 hours and 53 minutes and 42 seconds. The second place was secured by C.S. Herat, also from the Central Province. Nimesh, presenting the Uva Province, had claimed the third place. In the men's marathon event, K. Shankmungaram, representing the Central Province, had emerged victories with the timing of 2 hours, 24 minutes and 42 seconds. A.C. Chandana, representing the Uva Province, came second, and third place has been secured by T.W. Ratnapala of the Eastern Province.
Well, that was a look at the news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I've been Siobhan Pereira together with Situmi Jayaratne. Wish you a pleasant evening and a great weekend.
Good night.